Algebra 1 EOC Star Review, Category 2. On page 11, we will be looking at systems of equations. A system, remember, involves more than one. So here we're talking about linear systems. So we have more than one equation and more than one variable that have to work together. A system, more than one thing working together. So systems can have up to 3 different types of solution. Parallel lines will never touch, so we know those have no solutions. Intersecting lines, they touch only at one spot, and that's the point of intersection, so therefore they have one solution. And then same lines, lines that are right on top of each other, well, they touch everywhere, infinitely. So same lines have what we call infinite solutions. So on this graph, we can simply plot the point where we see the solution to the system. Well, these are intersecting lines, so we know that's one solution, and that is at the point of intersection. And that solution occurs left 1 up 3. So we would say it's the ordered pair -1, 3. So here we have a system, and we want to find out what the solution is. How many solutions and what are they? So the first step here would be get both of these equations in a friendly form to graph, which is y = mx plus b. I see that they're both in standard form, and I know that to get them to y = mx plus b, we use space, move, divide. So we would space out our constant, +5. We would then move the x term by doing the opposite, so I would subtract it. And the last step would be to divide by the coefficient of y. So we divide both sides by 3. Then apply don't break my heart. So -4x divided by 3 is -4/3, and 5 divided by 3 is 5/3. Those fractions don't simplify. You would get a repeating decimal. So now that we have the first equation in y equals, we can then space, move, divide the equation number 2. 3x minus y equals 7. We would space the constant, the 7, move the x term, which is 3x, so we would subtract 3x. Our whole goal here is to get y by itself. So I have -y equals -3x plus 7. I don't quite have y by itself. I see a negative in front. I want just y, not -y. So I know it's like a -1 being multiplied, so I would divide both sides by the -1. Because I know a negative divided by a negative would give me a positive y, and that's what I want. We're going to apply the don't break my heart. -3 divided by -1. Negative divided by negative would give me a positive 3x. And then 7 divided by -1 is -7. So the equation y = 3x minus 7. Now that I have both equations in y equals, I will put the first equation in my y1 in my y equals screen. The second equation I would type into my y2. This would give me a graph of 2 lines. I will go ahead and press graph and look at it. Then once I see the graph, I want to find the solution or where the lines intersect. I do this by hitting second trace 5 and enter 3 times. When I do this, the calculator would give me the answer that they intersect. The solution is at 2, -1. So these are intersecting lines, and they intersect at 2, -1. You bought the meat for Saturday's cookout. A package of hot dogs costs $1.60, and a package of hamburger costs $5. You bought a total of 8 packages of meat, and you spent $23. How many packages of hamburger meat did you buy? So here we have a system of equations that we could set up. I'm going to write the equation for the cost of the packages. So I see that's $1.60 for the package of hot dogs. So it's 160 times how many packages X hot dogs we buy, plus $5 per package of hamburgers. And let's let Y be the number of packages of hamburger. And we know we spent a total of $23. We know also that there are 8 packages. So we are going to kind of guess and check. Create a table, and we're going to organize our guesses. So for instance, what if we bought 4 hot dogs and 4 hamburgers, or 3 hot dogs and 5 hamburgers? So if it's 4 and 4, we would spend a total of $26.40. We quickly see that that's not going to work because we only spent $23. So therefore, I'm going to try, what if I only bought 3 hot dogs? So I'm going to plug 3 in for X, and 5 hamburgers. And I get $29.80. Well, I'm immediately see that I'm going the wrong direction. I've spent now more than the 23. So I'm now going to undo what I just did there. I'm going to switch those. Let's purchase 5 packages of hot dogs now and only 3 of the hamburger. So I'm going to plug those values in for the number of hot dogs packages and the number of hamburgers. And there it is. I hit $23 exactly. So I have found that I could purchase 5 hot dogs and 3 hamburger packages. And all we did was a little guess and check strategy on this one. Make sure we read the question here. It doesn't want to know hot dogs and hamburgers. It says how many packages of hamburgers. Well, our hamburgers, we can see we let our y variable be our hamburgers, so the answer would just be 3 packages of hamburgers.